this is an interesting one with Billie Eilish because she's going on about her newest album release and everything, and she went on to the cover of Vogue magazine, one of the biggest fashion magazines in the world, and she discusses systematic abuse, fake body positivity, and the new album and stuff. And she comes on the cover in like a corset dress and some other stuff, like kind of showing off her body.
For Billie Eilish,
she never does that.
Yeah, like notoriously very like hiding her body.
She wears hiding her body for basically, and I quote, because dudes are disgusting and I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
Which I was like,
and like that was like a lot of things she came up, but she's doing this second album now. There's like second proper thing, and like there's a whole aesthetic difference and change with her as a person. It's a little bit less dark and sort of like a gothy. It's a little bit of a different thing. We haven't gone full into the album, so I won't comment on it.
Yes.
But part of this is sort of Billie Eilish, now 19, sort of coming into her own and herself and having like a sort of thing like. I mean, like her direct quote is, "Showing your body and showing your skin or not should not take any respect from you."
No.
It's like just a basic standard thing that like just as men, and I can't believe I have to have these conversations, but just as men can like display themselves however they want to pretty much in media and society more or less for consumption, so can women. And like, yeah, people are going to have their sort of like assumptions for it as the public more broadly, and they'll do whatever they want to. But like overall, it's the person's right to present themselves in the way they want to. And like by saying, oh, by doing that, you're a slut or you're a whore, you're like less than morally for doing this thing that like virtually everything does and is into, then like that makes it a different thing.
Yeah, it is a 180 for Billie Eilish to do like as her own image, but she's at liberty to do what she wants with herself as a person, which I like.
I want to go into the 180 a little bit because she says like, quote, "It made me really offended when people were like, good for her feeling comfortable in her bigger skin." And she said, "Jesus Christ, good for me, fuck off. The more the internet and the world care about somebody that's doing something they're not used to, they're put on such a high pedestal, then that's even worse." Which goes to the thing of like, no matter what, there's going to be like a discourse in the public 100%. Around it, and it's usually not going to like be the most respectful in any way. I think you avoid a lot of this by going like, taking a fairly small L libertarian approach to it by going like, it doesn't bother me in my life, have fun with it, and do whatever you want to. But she just goes into a lot of different things about the society's breakdown of like what it means to be like a promiscuous woman versus like what it means to fall within those like moralistic binaries, and like doesn't even matter when men don't apply to them anyways. It's really good, and it's like it's a high level like bit of thinking that I think we try not to like over compliment artists here, but we know when we're biased with artists we really like. Billie Eilish came into the scene, we really like her. I think she shows a lot of humility and maturity for her age compared to a lot of artists who come in.
She doesn't have a big head about anything, which is another thing that surprises me as well. One of my favorite quotes from the Vogue magazine interview is, Eilish is not the first to say it. She admires that multidimensionality in Meg Thee Stallion, though it's striking to watch a young woman get here on her own timeline. And depressing that she still has to...
that's like from, straight from Vogue.
Straight from Vogue. And then her quote is, "I really think the bottom line is, men are very weak. I think it's just so easy for them to lose it. You expect a dude not to grab you if you're wearing that dress? Seriously, you're that weak? Come on, go masturbate."
Talking to guys who are like catcalling and just
exactly the ones that like you can't control urges or this or that's like,
which is like really, it sucks that you have to say it. But there are like a bunch of idiots in the world. One of them being named Steven Crowder,
Christ alive,
like are just so out of things to say as men and live such unfulfilled lives that all they can do is go on the internet and spend time with their bro dudes.
About everything too.
Oogling a 19-year-old and her body and her idea of body image and spending a long period of time about that. Doing everything that Billie Eilish was talking about, saying like, just keep it in your pants, dude. Like, fucking figure it out.
Exactly. Figure it out. And like these are the reasons why I say men are weak in that regard, when they can't control themselves and have to constantly one-up you or say that men are better at this and this or that's. Like, that's the whole point. And Steven Crowder goes right over his dumb peanut-sized brain, goes right over his head, and he falls for the trap.
Yeah.
Because you're an idiot and insecure as fuck.
Absolute idiot. But that's enough of that. Billie Eilish made her point, made it very
Exactly.
eloquently and very well. And, you know, the music world is a music world and people react to it as they do. So it is what it is. But we will, on this podcast, be mostly looking forward to Billie Eilish's upcoming album and
Yes,
sort of the
I'm interested.
reinvention that comes with that.